Today we're taking a look at these NFL matches, which are happening on Saturday, September 3rd, 2022, and giving you our parlay picks, match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 360 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting picks that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Going back to our video, make sure to watch them till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Florida Atlantic, FAU versus Ohio U. The Ohio Bobcats are going to be a competitive team this season. 4 of their defeats last season were by 7 or fewer points, and they were a younger team that gained valuable experience and will be improved this year. FAU is decent, but isn't expected to be a top 3 team in the CUSA. Furthermore, the Owls' defense is an issue. While they looked good last week against a subpar Charlotte team, the pass defense was a huge weakness last year, ranking 104th overall, and they lost many key pieces to that poor secondary. They squandered an average of 409 yards per game. Ohio QB Curtis Rourke connected on 65% of his passes last year and should have a productive night and keep his team in this game. Our team pick is Ohio Bobcats plus 4.5 points. The total has finished under in 5 of the last 6 games that FAU has played on the road, as well as in 6 of the last 7 games that the Owls have played against a non-CUSA team. The total has also finished under in 7 of the last 9 games overall for Ohio, and in 6 of the last 7 that Ohio has played against a non-MAC team. Our total pick is under 48.5 points. Middle Tennessee State versus James Madison. James Madison is going to be fired up for this opportunity, but I am not going to lay nearly a touchdown in this spot with a brand new FBS team. MTSU is going to have a solid offense this season, especially with a new offensive coordinator wanting to air the ball out. James Madison is finally stepping up to the big leagues as it makes its transition to FBS life in the Sun Belt. The Dukes have been one of the dominant forces at the FCS level over the last few decades, regularly making trips to the FCS playoffs. Their last game against an FBS team came at the beginning of the 2019 season when they lost to West Virginia by a touchdown. They also lost a 24-13 final to North Carolina State in 2018 and blew out East Carolina in 2017. James Madison is not eligible to play in a bowl game this season, creating less pressure on the transition. The Dukes have 7 starters back offensively after finishing number 1 in the Colonial Athletic Association last year. Quarterback Cole Johnson, who was the Offensive Player of the Year, is being replaced by Colorado State transfer Todd Centio. Cunningham might end up being the best player on the field on Saturday, which bodes well for the Blue Raiders. He is facing a James Madison defense that lost a ton of weapons in the offseason, so I expect some regression from them. The Blue Raiders covered the spread in 5 of their final 7 games last year, capped off with a bowl victory. Our team pick is MTSU plus 6 points. I am leaning towards the over in this game, and the main reason is the James Madison defense. Sure, they were great last season, but that was in the FCS, and now in the FBS they may struggle early on. The Dukes lost some key players on defense, and their pass rush and run defense has many new faces. The Blue Raiders will have a good offensive game and a balanced one as they look to get their young RB core in check. I do not see a barn burner in this game, but not a low-scoring one either, which is why the over is the pick. Our total pick is over 57.5 points. Rice versus Southern California. The Rice Owls went 4-8 in 2021 and have now not had a winning season since going 8-5 in 2014. As unimpressive as 4 wins may sound, it was the highest win total that the Owls have accumulated under head coach Mike Bloomgren, who has an 11-31 overall record since taking over in 2018. The Owls welcome back 7 starters on both sides of the ball this season. The number here is big, but there's not much to like about Rice here at all. Coming into the season, Athlon Sports has USC rated as the 9th best team in the country and Rice just 123rd overall. The Trojans can pretty much pick their number here and could be up by 35 points at the half. Even if USC lets up, the 2nd and 3rd stringers here will still have something to prove. Take USC to cover big. According to the preseason media poll, the Trojans were predicted to finish 3rd in Pac-12, and DraftKings has their over-under win total set at 9.5 heading into the first game. USC went 4-8 last season, in a weird season that began with then head coach Clayton Helton being fired after the first 2 games. This season USC begins a new era with Lincoln Riley, who went 55-10 in 5 seasons at Oklahoma. Riley has 8 starters back on offense and 3 on defense from last year's team. The defense has lineman Tuli Tupilotu back, who had 48 tackles and 5.5 sacks last season and is the number 4 rated draft-eligible DT according to DraftScout.com. The expectations are low again, as Rice's over-under win total at DraftKings is set at just 3.5. The Conference USA Media Poll, Phil Steele Magazine, and Athlon Sports all also have the Owls predicted to finish 10th out of 11 teams in the conference. The number here is big, but there's not much to like about Rice here at all. Coming into the season, Athlon Sports has USC rated as the 9th best team in the country and Rice just 123rd overall. The Trojans can pretty much pick their number here and could be up by 35 points at the half. Even if USC lets up, the second and third stringers here will still have something to prove. The RB position is stacked as well, led by transfers Travis Dye from Oregon and Austin Jones from Stanford. Darwin Barlow will also get touches as well, and last season for the Trojans he rushed for 289 yards and a couple of scores. The Trojans' defense ranked 10th in the Pac-12 last season, giving up an average of 32 ppg. The D does have a couple of stars in DT Tuli Tupilotu and Danick Figueroa, and Riley brought in several solid defensive players through the transfer portal. USC has failed to cover the spread in 5 of their last 6 home games. Take USC to cover big. Our team pick is Trojans minus 31.5 points. Rice had a decent ground game last season and they ranked 10th in the nation and 1st in Conference USA in time of possession. While the ground game will still be key in this game, the Owls will look for more balance. Wiley Green passed for 414 yards with 4 TD and 3 INT, and he will start the season under center. Even with the Owls' top wide receiver transferring, Rice is deep at the position with the likes of Cedric Patterson, who averaged over 15 yards per catch last season, and Tulsa transfer Sam Crawford. RB Ari Broussard is back after leading the team rushing for 569 yards last season. One key to this game is the offensive line of the Owls, as they are a little undersized, and that may be a problem facing the USC pass rush. USC broke the bank to bring Lincoln Riley to La La Land, and he got to work right away. QB Caleb Williams followed Riley to USC from OU, and last season he passed for 1,912 yards with 21 TD and only 4 INT. To say he has a loaded WR core would be an understatement. The team already had some solid wideouts, but got much better with the addition of Jordan Addison, who won the Biletnikoff Award last season as the nation's best WR, where he had nearly 1,600 receiving yards and 17 TD. Former star OUWR recruit Mario Williams also followed Riley to USC. I am taking the over in this game, mainly because the Trojans will light up the scoreboard. They have stars all over the place on offense, and with the transfers, they may have the best WR core in the nation. They also have a solid ground game, and USC will score early and often facing Rice. The Owls will make some plays on the ground and in the air, and while I see them losing badly, they will put up some points. Because of that, and USC lighting it up, the over is the pick for this season opener. Our total pick is over 61.5 points.